First, my beloved France. It was the cuties movie. Now this? What is going on? We only used to export wine, cheese, and croissants, but now we are doing all of this. It is insane. It's coming to us from the Daily Mail. Feminist book called I Hate Men sells out in France after government official attempted to ban it. Puh, I spit on this. I spit on the book. I spit on the attempt to censor. I spit on all of it. It is written by Chris Ewers for Mail Online, and I'm going to stop doing this voice now because I don't have a lot of French sayings outside of "c'est la vie" and "mademoiselle" in my head, so it's not gonna really work. Anyways, guys, yeah, there's a book out called I Hate Men, and the Streisand effect seems to have taken hold, where he tries to get it banned, he tries the censorship thing, and it completely backfires. The book is written by French activist Pauline Harmange, 25, from the city of Lille, or Lille, probably Lille. Really? That's a 25-year-old? My God, sweetie, you look 47. My goodness. A special advisor to France's Ministry for Gender Equality has called for a ban. Ralph Zumelier claims that it is an incitement to hatred on the grounds of gender. Following his criticism, all 450 first editions and a further 2,500 copies sold out. A French government official's attempt to ban a feminist book called I Hate Men appears to have backfired after it sold out. It did. It did. One of the reasons I want to cover this story is because there's a lot of, how do I put it, womanly speak that I'm hearing in the manosphere when they're crying about, oh, it's not fair, it's just a double standard. It's the exact same thing that the women do. And there's a lack of acknowledgement in the fact that we're not the same thing. Men and women aren't the same thing. So, you can't keep approaching it like there's a double standard. There isn't. All right, there's different standards for different people, but when it comes to just straight up the biological sex, remember over here, gender it's not a real thing. But when it comes to the differences between the sexes, it's so much that outside of reproductive rights, where I feel men should have more of a say in their child's lives, it's really hard to parse a lot of it just due to our inherent differences. Sales of Pauline Harmange's Los Mejores de Just Deteste skyrocketed after Ralph Zumelier, a special advisor to France's Ministry for Gender Equality, called it an ode to misandry, a hatred of men. We know what misandry means. In an email, Zumelier told Monstrograph, the book's publisher, that incitement to hatred on the grounds of gender is a criminal offense, and asked the publisher to pull the book from publication on pain of criminal prosecution. The 25-year-old activist book argues that anger towards men is actually a joyful and emancipatory path if it is allowed to be expressed, and explores whether women have good reason to hate men. That's right. This 25-year-old. Yeah. That's why you just let them rock. Honestly, as men, we tend to let females just go in a little corner and throw their tantrums because ultimately, you don't have the upper body strength, sweetie. I'm sorry, you just don't. A lot of guys don't either, but I think we can make up for them. All they need is a few push-ups. Monstrograph has denied that the book is an incitement of hatred and called... wow, really? Okay, come on, Monstrograph. I Hate Men is not an incitement to hate... Come on. And called the book a feminist and iconoclastic book that defends misandry as a way of making room for sisterhood. That's right, sisters, we doing it for ourselves. Okay, I'm gonna direct everyone's attention over to the woman who wrote the Sex and the City book. They did a whole show around it. They did 2 movies. It was a whole thing, right? And I've done that video when she's come out and said that she regrets not having children. I see the exact same future for this lady right here, because you're in your mid 20s, and instead of, because seriously, you do look older for your age, but take the glasses off, pull the hair back a little bit. I mean, go out and have yourself a little bit of fun. But her fun is hating men right now, and that's why, as a guy, time is the great equalizer. If you want, fellas, if you want, what's the name, if you really want to be like, oh my goodness, like, yo, there's a double standard between men and women, I say it all the time. Our lives are on completely different trajectories. A man gains value as he ages. A woman's value, like, just socially, right, at a societal level, a woman's value starts to top out at 27, 28, when those eggs start to really lessen. Caroline Pierre, one of the founders of the micro-publisher run by volunteers, said the title is provocative, but the language is measured. It is an invitation not to oblige oneself to frequent men or compromise with them. But that's like it's always extremists that talk about non-compromise, when as men we happily compromise. There is a guy, I can guarantee you, there's like probably 100 guys in France right now that will love that would love to love this woman, but this is the life that she chose. And the Sex and the City woman, that's your future, sweetheart. At no time does the author incite violence, she added. Okay, we are a larger, so far unnamed publisher is now set to take the title on, because you shouldn't have boosted it, man. There's a reason why I haven't done any dedicated videos to cuties, or like I said, I would stop covering the Lizzo situation, because the more oxygen you give it, the more space that the flame has to grow. That's exactly what Mr. Zemelier did, straight up and down. France's Ministry for Gender Equality distances itself from Zemelier's threats of criminal prosecution, saying it was a personal initiative and completely independent of the ministry. The ministry's comments came after Hermanji received ridicule and threats on social media. The special advisor told Mediapart that if Monstrograph continued to sell copies of the book, the small publisher would be directly complicit in the offense, and I would then be obliged to send it to the prosecution for legal proceedings. Once again, guys, censorship doesn't work. Okay, like I get where Zemelier is coming from, I really do, but censorship doesn't work. But the magazine's Nouvelle Obs pointed out that if the book were to be banned, a similar case could be made for books by male authors to be banned on the grounds of misogyny. Okay. I do not know every book ever written throughout the course of time. No, I do not. But I can't help but feel like if there was a book out there called "I Hate Women," and stuff like that, it we know about it, and the author would be roundly ridiculed and destroyed. All right, can we not play around like that? Hermanji, an activist from Lille in North France, said the book is an invitation to women to imagine a new way of being, to take less account of the often unsupported opinions of men, to consider the adage, it is better to be alone than in bad company, seriously, and to rediscover the strength of female relationships full of reciprocity, gentleness, and strength. Okay. Okay, so once again, this is the Sex and the City lady. We've seen this show before. Okay? Oh yes, the often unsupported opinions of men. Imagine a new way of being. There's just being, guys. We're just here, all right? This is just existence. We're all trying to figure this shit out. Oh man, lady, I hope it was worth it. I hope it was worth it. I look forward, Pauline Hermanji, I look forward to, 20 years down the line when you release that. Yeah, I really probably should have went the kids route. Article that will eventually come out, because it's on its way. Make no mistake. I mean, that's the thing, ladies. You're fleeting. Like, these mindsets, these mentalities that you take on. I mean, and trust me, if you're the same person at 40 that you were at 20, then you wasted 20 years. And I genuinely believe that's true across the board, male or female. But I think a big difference is that if you're more careful about it, fellas, you can have less regrets in how you choose to go about your life, because like I said, that trajectory, as like when ladies, like these choices that you make in your younger years are far more will carry you further through the rest of your life than the choices a man will make, because as men, it's just different. It really is. We are two completely different things. And this mindset that we're the same thing, I see it in the manosphere a lot. And it's like, dude, but you're comparing yourself to a woman. Don't do that. No offense, ladies, but we're not the same thing. It's not it doesn't add up to sit there and try and put yourself on a woman, or put yourself on a woman's level. I'm not going to say lower or higher yourself to a woman's level. I'm just going to say to put yourself on a woman's level, because we're on different levels. I don't think that that's productive at all. But you may disagree. And all the internet stuff. If you like to toss it, like, dislike, go ahead, do that too. Nobody's scared of you. Sub. If you enjoy my fantastic voice and want to get videos like this every single day, share, because sharing is caring. And YouTube and Bitchute and like aren't the biggest fans of your boy over here for very obvious reasons. Bang the bell for notifications. Get something from the Teespring and speak. Let me know. What do you guys think in the comments? I think it's the glasses. And I think it's the glasses, a little bit of a clear lack of, skincare that makes this woman look older than 25. But then again, it's France, Shoot, she may have been making love and smoking cigarettes and drinking all the wine and eating all the cheese since she was 12. We see the craziness coming out of there, but you may disagree, and that's what my comment section's for. Until the next one.